officers from the three services, members of media, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to you all, and a very happy 2026. It's a pleasure to join here today on this 22nd Subroto Mukherjee Seminar, and the first one of this Silver Jubilee year of the CAPS. It honors the father of the nation, father of the Air Force, Indian Air Force, Subroto, and a lot has been said about him by DG CAPS. I was also reading somewhere that he built the Indian Air Force in an era of, constraints, uncertainty, and limited resources. So when I look at myself today, 25th chief after him, if I can call, I don't think much has changed. So, but when we talk about era of constraints and limited resources of that time, I think that was very, very different, and the kind of foresight that that individual had, that put us on the right path, because they say well begun is half done. So I think that is where the strength lies, that he put us in the right path, and we've been growing from strength to strength. Of course, when I look at my all other predecessors also, I think I'm very much better placed than any one of them, because resource crunch continues to, the resources continue to get better and better. Marshal Mukherjee, as DG CAPS has just brought out, he understood something very fundamental about air power well before, it became fashionable to quote it like that, its air power is not just merely aircraft and weapons and platforms, but about thinking innovatively and utilizing the resources to one's advantage and think ahead of the adversary. And that is something that we need to continue remembering and following. And befitting that, I think it is the seminar which is to honor that individual is looking, it's covering a topic which is well beyond these platforms and weapons and all, and looking at national security as a whole. These seminars, they are good for where year after year, or months after months, when we talk about other seminars also, we bring together the operational expertise, the academic rigor, and the strategic foresight together. And I congratulate CAPS for this, CAPS, and in particular, all the former DGs and the current one for, for their personal involvement in all these, which ensure success of such events that are academically oriented. In a profession that is often consumed by the urgency of the present, or if I can put it colloquially, which is consumed in firefighting, as we call it in Indian Air Force. I think such initiatives by CAPS or all the other organizations, they keep us intellectually prepared for the future. The theme for this year's seminar is the national security imperatives. These are the core necessities that the nation must secure to ensure the nation's survival and sovereignty. And some of the major ones that we all understand are the security of borders or internal security, that means managing your borders or internal law and order situations. Self-sufficiency in food, water, maintaining stable economic growth, and avoiding critical dependency on other nations, securing a reliable supply of energy sources, and securing ideology, the security of thought, the culture of a nation. So these are some of the things, of course, these days, all these get connected to some other securities of securing the digital spectrum, the EW spectrum, the cyber and the space, which becomes very important. Now, how does the nation do it? Nation uses its power, which, if you say comprehensive national power, it comprises of many things that we have learned, we have been reading about, we have been practicing. Whether it is your, the whole idea is that use that comprehensive national power in a manner so as to impose your will over the other nation, or other way around, if you are one of those who believes in, harmony and living together, maybe make sure that no other nation is able to impose their will on you against your wishes. So that is where this national power comes in, and if I can again talk about some of the components of this national power, I think first and foremost is your geography, your size, your location, what kind of topography you have. Of course, that will also decide on what kind of neighbors you land up having. Apart from that, natural resources, minerals, fuel, energy resources that you have, which are again given to you by nature, and how do you harness them? How do you take them out? How much effort you put in towards that? The demography, a large population which is very skilled, very motivated, it's a positive. But having a population which is uneducated, poor, not able to make two ends meet, it becomes a liability. Economic growth and industrial development and capacity, it's very important part of the national power. Along with that, of course, the infrastructure, the transportation, communication, all these infrastructure matter. Technology, how to use whatever resources you have to the best of your, to your betterment is very important. How much you invest in R&D, what kind of R&D infrastructure you have, what kind of talent you have in the nation. And of course, last but not the least that I could think of was military. The size, the platforms that you have, the training that you do. And along with these are the intangibles, the leadership, not just in military, but as a national leadership. How well you are able to manage or mobilize your people, how well are you able to influence their thinking and get them all together. Ideology, the set of beliefs that we grow up with, how good are they, how strong are they, how convincing are those. And these ideology, they provide us this, having a common ideology provides us having unity at home and to be able to project our thinking abroad. Morale, like I said, leadership controls your morale. So how determined are you in pursuit of the national goals? One of the most, important intangible that I can think of is the soft power, the diplomacy. How you use your, various elements to influence people outside your country. How you project the right image of the nation. How you bring them to understand you better, to understand your requirements better. And all this, all elements of national power that I've listed, they all are interrelated. They don't work independently. We all have to put them all together. But historically, what we have seen and what we are seeing in the recent past, what is happening currently in the world, we must understand that military power stands as the ultimate arbiter of the national power. Anybody who can be very economically sound but cannot be secure. We have the example of our own country. We plus China, I think we control almost 60% of the world GDP at one time. But that didn't stop us from getting captured and colonized. So any one of these powers are very important. But finally, what is required is a very robust military. Because if you don't have a robust military, you can be subjugated by anybody. Venezuela, Iraq is one of the examples, some of the examples that we have. And what does military power do? It will protect you, your economic activities. It will give you the freedom. It will secure the technological infrastructure that you have, and also it will give credibility to your diplomacy, the soft power that I talked about. If I can put together all strategies, all instruments of national power will take you nowhere if you do not have a strong military power. So that becomes an absolute necessity. And, it is the military power which is very important, but along with that, it is the will to use that military power which becomes even more important. So you have to show that will, because unless you have the military power, unless you have the will to use it, you can keep showing restraint, but that restraint will be seen as a weakness. It's only when you're strong enough and you show restraint that it is seen as capability. That there's that कबीर का दोहा है कि क्षमा शोभती उस भुजंग को जिसके पास गरल हो, उसका क्या जो दंतहीन विषरहित विनीत सरल हो. So we need to remember that unless we are a strong military power, unless we have shown our will to use it, we will be subject to subjugation sometime or the other. It is not good enough to be a strong economy only. It is not good enough to be technologically very advanced only, unless you know what to do with it in terms of military. So, whether it is, when I talk about military power, now when we look at what is happening around the world and what has happened in India, which part of that military power which has come in handy or which has delivered what was required to be delivered? I think I don't have to name it. It is air power. And it becomes very important that we focus our attention towards this part of the military in case we want to be, a force to be reckoned with. Whether it is, getting people out of conflict zone, like we did it in Sudan, or whether it is, giving a blow to the terrorist infrastructure and their perpetrators, or whether it is attacking multiple bases in Pakistan in a matter of few hours to send a signal that enough is enough and bring them to their knees. It was air power which did the trick, and that has to be remembered. This year for Indian Air Force has been a seminal year. I mean to say 2025 I'm talking about, the last year. And we have achieved what even DG alluded to, and I'm not going to cover it. I think we all understand. I must tell you that I've been telling my people that let's not rest in past glory. Let's look at it, look forward from here onwards. The world is getting increasingly chaotic, and we can't be sure of what is going to happen ahead. So at least we can be sure of things that we can focus on, where we can help, where we can do something about. And we must focus on that, what we can influence. And right now, creating a strong military, like I said, especially the Air Force, becomes a necessity. And it will ensure that we are, this is a requirement if we have to take a flight towards Vikasit Bharat of 2047. And that is where our focus should be. And I feel we have the mindset, we have the, human capital, but somewhere we are lacking is technology, and that can be caught up with in due course of time. Unfortunately, our requirements do get, requirements and timelines get affected by what is happening in our neighborhood, because we need to be prepared for our adversary. So whatever happens there, we need to be a little on the reactive mode at times. So while supporting all the R&D efforts that are going on towards indigenization, towards being Atmanirbhar, while supporting that, we need to take some decisions to, to invest in some other maybe Make in India programs. That means while design and develop in India is continuing, we need to take some quick decisions to get some Make in India program into our country, so that we get the technology and we get our products, the weapons and the platform that we need in near future. We need to catch up with the technology. So to catch up with the next generation, we need to join hands with some other country, because maybe we can do it alone, but it will take longer. And world over, it is happening. We are all into strategic partnerships. This is the right time to get into a strategic partnership for development of next generation platforms and weapons. Something on the lines of what decision we have taken for the engine, the engine for the future aircraft. So drones, another area which we have been talking about. They're transitioning from their simple support secondary roles to very complex roles now. This is one area which is where importance of the drones and relevance of drones is increasing by the day, whether it is drones or MUMTI or swarms, or whether it's counter drone systems, or whether it is having a UCAV kind of a drone which will enter an area of high risk. So this is one field which is rapidly growing, and our focus should remain towards acquiring this capability as early as possible. And again, whether it is in terms of developing or having a parallel path where we are developing some and you're buying some for the time being and making some in India. So I think more will be talked about. We are going to release a book on drones today. So I think that book will contain a lot about it. So if I can conclude, I can say that, when we honor the legacy of Marshal Subroto Mukherjee, we must remember that the true strength of India's national security architecture lies not only in what we possess, but how thoughtfully we prepare to use it and prepare for what lies ahead. And like I said, since military is a major part of our national power, it is important how we equip ourselves and how we, rather more importantly, how we utilize what we have. So as far as equipping is concerned, the immediate, we need to manage our immediate requirements while we are looking at our, options to become fully Atmanirbhar by 2047. The immediate requirements have to be managed now. And as far as how to utilize what we have or what we are acquiring is concerned, certain things that need attention are, coordination between services where we have similar assets, and not only just services, other agencies also. Drones is one example. So that duplication of effort in equipping and training is reduced, and also make sure, I think this was very beautifully brought out by DG also, that what Marshal Subroto Mukherjee understood and said, that we must be, we must have anticipatory force planning. So we need to make sure that our capability development is in consonance with the roles and tasks that are assigned to us now and what are expected in future. We should not be taking a jump into the future and thinking about roles which are not there for next 10 to 15 years for us, and wasting our effort, money, energy towards that. We must realize what we need today and in the next 10 years, and must focus more on that as far as immediate requirements are concerned. And we must understand that every service has their core competency, and it is best that we tackle our primary roles and leverage the core competencies of services and other agencies. That is the real essence of multi-domain operations. So very relevant topics, two topics that have been chosen for the two sessions today. And I wish this seminar success and look forward to, having insights then that will emerge after the discussion. My compliments once again to CAPS for organizing this, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you. Jai Hind.